Okay. Okay, we're back on the title screen. Okay. We are now talking to each other. So, we probably should wrap this up pretty quickly, but it's so cool that my gripe with how did they all know exactly what to say at the exact same time in that one cutscene? They did that at the end. Like
They just did it again.
pretty much every problem that I've had with the story has been explained in some way. You know, like
Yeah.
everything, every little tiny detail has been explained. The
Yeah.
problems
It
with some of the gameplay and some of the polish, not as much.
yeah, so that's mm.
But
I mean, okay. Here's my theory. This was supposed to be a Switch 2 release.
I think
Okay.
it could have benefited from that.
This was supposed to be a Switch 2 release. It was supposed to have a lot more polish. It was supposed to maybe function in different ways at some points. I think it's still very polished overall, but I also think at the same time it it suffers from switchitis of being the Switch and being an underpowered system the at this point. Um, but is it still is it still the greatest game of all time? Yes.
Yeah, it is for sure
I
up there.
there is okay. Before it came out, I thought Breath of the Wild was the greatest game of all time. It improves in so many ways on Breath of the Wild.
That is true. There, I One of the things I was thinking about what to do after this was to do like a Breath of the Wild master mode, and you are moving.
I'm full screening, so I don't have to be super close anymore.
Okay, that's fair. Um, I was thinking of doing a Breath of the Wild master mode run after this. I don't
Yeah.
know if I would be able to do that.
It's it's kind of it's a weird thing going back to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
It's it I would I haven't like played through the game, but like I've gone back and I've like messed around in the world and whatnot. But I don't know. It's it's different and I don't know I don't know which overall is the better game because there are some of those gameplay issues and stuff like that where Breath of the Wild was literally just a straight up open sandbox and the sandbox did not like it was simplistic, it was easy to understand, like from things that I know people literally just like, you know, to get their girlfriend into gaming they then, go and give them Breath of the Wild and they
yeah.
understand them and can play that or whatever. And I don't know if that's true for Tears of the Kingdom.
That you make a good point. Breath of the
The
Wild took so many risks as a Zelda game that you didn't have to know about Zelda games in order to play it and enjoy it.
Right.
It was kind of like a reboot. This is definitely not a reboot.
No.
This
It's
this
it's gone
requires you.
back on traditionalness.
Well, I don't know.
It's still very Breath of the Wildy, obviously. It's still very open world, and I don't think there's going to be a Zelda game that's not as open world as this is. Um, or if it is, it's like still very open world, but like more zone style, whatever. Um,
it'll be tough to be bigger than this.
True,
I mean,
but
yeah. They
Breath
do
of the,
find new ways to surprise you all the time.
Breath of the Wild was just just completely broke the stereotype
Yeah, for sure.
and became the best-selling Zelda game of all time because of it.
Yeah. But at the same time, there are so many Zelda things that are in this game, and Zelda games have been trending towards this, for a long time. Um,
Yeah.
like I don't
I
know,
think what
I'm
this
not
I
gonna get into the whole history, but like collecting items, uh, seems like a new thing. Well, like collecting items to improve stuff. Like having an inventory where you can pick up stuff off the ground all the time. That wasn't a thing for a lot of Zelda games, and that's been a thing in the last four uh, 3D Zelda games. So it's not like it's it feels like a progression, but the progression feels like what what can we what how can we what do we need to change to make this better, what's holding us back?
right.
And
I
I feel like Breath of the Wild was super good about that. And I feel like this kind of breaks some things that you know that maybe it didn't need to, but at the end of the day, I don't know. This is this is a completely remarkable game. They took a lot of risks, and I think probably the vast majority of them paid off. I don't know what I would do differently to make it better, because
I
any solution I can think of would make pretty much everything else worse.
yeah. I I The only major gripe about this game that I have is the fact that the companions suck.
Yeah, okay. I mean that's
They
true.
have point powers almost, and the way that you activate them and control them is terrible.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. There are some gameplay things like having the pickup button be the I want to activate all of my companions button. That
yeah.
definitely um, that feels like something that. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, what button would you put that on? You know, the plus button. you
There's been suggestions that have been made where you change you change how the weapon wheel, shield wheel, bow wheel, the L button, and the item wheel, how those all function. Um, and you make it like you combine certain ones and make actual weapon wheels rather than the slider thing, and do
yeah,
some other things. Um, and
but
in that situation, I've seen like mock-ups of it or whatever. In that situation, you would be able to have the champions on a wheel.
yeah, but then that's like the entire control screen from Breath of the Wild, though. Like you're
And
everybody's gonna be put. I mean, to be fair, I was pushing the wrong buttons all the time now, but you would literally be pushing the wrong button all the time, and you know, it. I don't know. That is. I'm sure they thought of that. I'm sure they had a meeting where they were like, okay, what can we change to make this work better? But
the
when
inventory system
if you're
is very
overhauling like
confusing.
the entire thing, like when my weapon breaks, my thumb goes towards the correct button because I did Breath of the
Right,
Wild,
right.
so I can see that. I can totally see why they didn't do that though,
Yeah.
and that's kind of where I'm at with all this. You basically need to have like one of those Steam controllers that has like all of those extra buttons.
Yeah.
But the problem is that they've already sold a whole bunch of pro controllers, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, there's no buttons on the back there.
No. Um,
And there's no buttons on the back here.
yeah, no. So
Yeah, and it was very obviously based off of Breath of the Wild, so
Oh yeah.
it was the same engine and whatnot. So they're gonna keep a lot of the same controls, which I get.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. This whole engine, if you're wondering why it has issues, was built to run on a Wii U. This isn't even a Switch engine.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's what you I mean, I 100% would guarantee that they did a whole bunch of optimizations now that it doesn't have to be on Wii U. But
Right.
there's always going to be, computer programming is really hard. You can't it's really hard to optimize things that are already optimized for something else. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but rewriting the entire engine would also not be an option.
No.
So it's like even though some of the results are frustrating, I understand like the decisions on pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So this is a question that I've had. What do you think they do next?
that is a very good question.
Because people obviously love these characters, like these specific Zelda Link characters, like all of the world. They like love this Hyrule. This is the best-selling Hyrule. People know this Hyrule. People love this Hyrule. Can you do a sequel to Tears of the Kingdom, or do you have to pull like a Majora's Mask where you do it in the same engine and do it with the same characters, but completely different world?
Hmm.
I
That's
I
a good
think
question.
I think you have to do the different world if you want to keep these people. Because
Yeah.
what you've done is Breath of the Wild basic map. You can only go two directions without like over like what you've set up with the world right now. You can only go two directions,
They can't.
and they went those two directions.
I, I,
So
f- I feel like as far as the engine goes, like all the physics and they even have like a chemistry engine running, which is amazing, and
yeah,
uh, like all that stuff. I feel like probably with all the Zonai devices and everything, they probably explored everything that they wanted to with this engine. And I feel like building the depths and building the Sky Islands and having a world that actually has people in it that are living, people that do things.
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
with those, they've probably explored the world as much as they want to, or as much as they can, maybe.
Yeah.
And they've probably, because I'm sure as they were developing this, I mean, first of all, as they were developing Breath of the Wild, you're always going to have ideas that you can't fit in here into a game. And I'm sure that as they were making Tears of the Kingdom, it's like, I have this good idea. I have this great idea. It's going to be awesome. It doesn't fit here.
Right.
So after what, like, however, it's going to be like 10 years of that by the time the next one comes out. I'm sure that it's going to be maybe it's still going to be open world, maybe. But I could
I
also see
would
them
say
doing like
it's
a traditional, like going back to, I don't know, maybe they don't really ever go back though. Every time they make a Zelda game, it's
they
always like some weird fusion of everything that's already happened, pushed to like a new
mm,
dimension.
I don't think they and when it came to Ocarina of Time, that was actually true because it was a third direction. Anyway,
Well, yeah.
um, I don't think they can do a non-open world of some sort Zelda game and
Yeah.
have it at the same success. Because you understand what like every other company did after Breath of the Wild, right? We're seeing this now where like every other company has made uh open world game.
We live
To
in a
whatever
great
success that may be,
we
right?
we live in the perfect era of gaming.
I think so, yeah.
Like you can the computing power that things have nowadays. Like, okay, I did this entire playthrough on in the dock on like my monitor. I could have taken my Switch out of the dock, and I will, when I'm traveling the next couple weeks. And I can play this game in my hands. This is a handheld Zelda game, and I know you're grabbing your
We
Steam Deck.
live we live in the greatest era of gaming.
Yeah, it's really amazing. It's incredible. Um, it's like
This is the thing.
so like they're running out of limitations. I mean, not actually, but
Okay,
they kind of
S-
are.
Switch to upgraded Switch, right? Like I think you can do a lot more. I can see a Zelda game. Have you seen games that have like completely destructible environments?
Uh, I,
Like
I yeah.
you blow up a building and it crumbles like it would, or whatever.
Oh, that would be cool. I haven't really seen that.
I can see a Zelda game like that, where it's no longer just like a Zelda game where you kind of interact with environment, you fully interact with environment. I could see like I don't know that terraforming, I could see terraforming,
Yeah.
but like some of that more I guess Minecrafty, right?
Literally sandbox.
Yeah, literally sandbox Zelda game.
I could see
Um
that.
I could see that happen for sure. Um but I could so okay, if they make a new which people really love these characters and this world. So I would think if if they have ideas, which I think they do. If we get DLC for this game, I don't.
Okay, because you see that this is the whole other thing. I I I love these characters, obviously,
Yeah,
but I think their story is done.
I think it is done, which
And
is sad because I like the characters and I want more of them. But I
but
think their
what would they be
story's done.
doing?
Yeah, I know.
We already sent Zelda and Link to the future by, cryogenic sleep healing. We already
Yeah,
sent Zelda to the past by,
yeah,
well, whatever she did plus draconification.
right.
Also, was that so Zelda would have needed two secret stones to have activated her thing because the secret stone that she got activated her time powers, but uh, if she had another one, would that one activate the light powers?
No, the power the stone activates the powers.
Yeah, but she had
The
two
stone
powers.
activate Yes, the stone activates both the time and the light.
But she didn't. Well, there's a line in one of the memories about this. The stone seems to amplify your light power or your time power or something like that, and it. Well, I don't know.
I mean, she also kind of just had the light powers
She
to
kind of figured that
begin
one
with.
out on her own. That was
Yeah,
kind of a
like
whole separate thing. Okay, so
yeah.
the one other thing that didn't get resolved with the story, the one last thing, if if the Hylian royal family are descendants of Raru and Sonia, then they had a kid that they apparently left behind and never talked about. The second king of Hyrule,
Oh.
who's presumably some young
Hold
infant
on.
somewhere.
Yeah, because Rauru was dead
Yeah, Raru.
and Sonya died as well. Wait, so there's
So
this
we
random
saw
infant
Sonya
kid.
die. We saw Sonya die.
We saw Raru die.
Well, yes,
Essentially.
but we definitely saw Sonya die.
Right. And Raru was stuck there for millennia.
Yes, well, his arm was.
Well, he rotted away, so he was stuck there.
Well, yeah. I guess he was really stuck there. Um. So yeah.
Wait a second. Okay.
Supposedly, this world is like a convergence of all of the timelines.
Well, I mean,
So supposedly,
that is a theory. Yes.
Well, it's been official. It was in like the official Nintendo published book that it's at the end. Breath of the Wild happens at the end. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they've officially
Anyways,
confirmed that, but anyway, it's
they also have been known to retcon the timeline.
well, yes.
Um, so okay, so there's like supposedly one Ganondorf, right?
Well, there is one spirit of Ganondorf usually, yes.
One spirit of Ganondorf. So does this spirit of Ganondorf, if we're going on the fact that this is the same timeline, uh, does this one spirit of Ganondorf like did he leave Ganondorf from like 1,000 years ago, or not 1,000 years ago, however many years ago, 10,000, whatever it was? Did it like leave the guy rotting in the bottom of Hyrule Castle and then like go to a bunch of other Ganondorfs and then come back?
Well, okay, so the one Ganondorf. So there's the spirit. There's like, well, I don't know actually. Uh,
This is why I don't think it's actually a part of the timeline at all.
well, so
Like
they
Breath of the
didn't
Wild.
talk about the Triforce at all in this game, and I don't remember if they talked about the Triforce at all in Breath of the Wild. Was that a
It did
thing?
not. Nope. Didn't talk about it.
So the
I mean,
Triforce
well,
can
it's
only.
probably said something like the power of whatever. And when Zelda did the hand thing, the Triforce symbol came out. Whatever. So I mean, like it was there, but
Yeah.
it did not specifically talk about the parts of the Triforce.
Well, so the Triforce can only bless one person at a time, basically. This Ganondorf was not said to be blessed by the Triforce of Power. It's possible that this was literally just a guy who hated everybody, who got really good at things, and wasn't blessed by anybody or anything. It's possible, based on my knowledge of this, that because there are
I
links
mean that
who are just random guys, like the Link from
right.
Wind Waker wasn't blessed.
The
He
link
he found his
from yeah,
blessing. Um,
right.
so it's possible that this Ganondorf was just like crazy good at just doing everything
A
because he tried really
guy who
hard.
didn't like things. Yeah. Yeah, I also think that this is just a completely different like timeline, I guess. Like multiverse Zelda thing where it's like this is other universe, whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's not consistent with the rest of the series, both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
Well, that's part of why I think it became accessible because
True.
you didn't have to
You didn't
know.
have to have prerequisite knowledge.
Yeah. And part of thinking of Skyward Sword being the previous one, which is now like 12 years old.
No, it's older, isn't it?
Released in 2011.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
What was the gap between Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword?
6 years.
Oh.
What was the gap
Waited
between?
longer for
What was
we
the?
waited longer for Tears of the Kingdom.
What was that?
We waited 7 years. Seven
Oh
and a half,
yeah,
I
the
think.
development time goes up every time.
Oh yeah,
There
I
was
know that.
like a year between. Oh wow, there was like 2 years between Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask,
Yeah,
and those were full 3D Zelda games.
yeah.
Uh, anyway, so like a lot of that, I think part of the marketing was about how this was like the earliest one in the timeline. This is where Link makes the Master Sword, and things like that. And that's I don't know. I really enjoyed Skyward Sword. I think it kind of gets a bad rap. Um,
I haven't played
but
it. I need to buy it on this thing, but I haven't. So
well, it was the one that took upgrading your items, getting items off the ground. Uh, it took what Twilight Princess did with that, and to some extent Wind Waker, and kind of ramped that up a whole lot. So
yeah,
at the time, it was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Why do I need to, you know, if I want to upgrade my potion, why do I have to grab a whole bunch of bees? That's not that fun. And then Breath of the Wild came out, and it's like, ah, collecting things. This is now the game.
Right.
But that's you'll probably see some things where it would be interesting for you to like play Twilight Princess and then play Skyward Sword, and you can be like, ah, this is the bridge connecting the two.
See, the problem with that,
Is that they don't want to take your money to get Twilight
they
Princess.
don't want my money.
Ah, yes. Classic Nintendo. See, I can find problems with their marketing and financial decisions much easier than with their games.
Yeah. Well, when it's not Zelda or mainline Mario, then you can.
Well, that's true.
Mario sports games.
Mario Tennis Aces. I'm glad I bought that game on sale. Yeah, that game is so. They just like reused voice clips for Wario and Waluigi. They just like reused voice clips from like some other game, and they just say like random stuff. I don't know if that's still the case or if they updated that. That game didn't have an intro cutscene to the story before they added it in an update or something like that. You're playing Tears of the Kingdom now, but I can't show that on screen because we're not there anymore. But whatever. Anyway, this has turned into our gaming podcast. Two Dudes Gaming. What would be a Two Dudes on the Couch? That's what our podcast name
We're
is.
both in office chairs.
Shush. Two Dudes in office chairs doesn't have the same vibe. What would you call our podcast?
Two dudes podcast.
That is the most creative name I've ever heard.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there is like a Two Dudes podcast.
Oh,
or
I'm
something
sure
like
there's
that.
like 20.
Yeah. Because there's like, 3,000 other people like us. Just nerds in their 20s and just like talking about games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. For sure. Oh, I
Definitely
just
in my
realized
20s
actually
at the moment.
hang on. I'm moving back to the game. So it's now showing me I've been staring at this for like the last however long we've been talking. This now shows the draconification picture. It'll loop through here one of these times. I was just looking at it after looking at it for how long, and okay, I mean like this is all the normal title screen, but
Does
then
it do that if you don't beat the game?
I don't know.
I'm gonna find out.
Like, because this was behind the bombed wall. This picture was the first one behind the bombed wall. Yeah. Then you have Zelda holding the Master Sword, which was also behind the bombed wall. And then you have Zelda becoming a dragon, which was also behind the bombed wall.
Oh, frick.
So yeah, those are like spoilers. There's no way they would do that. There's no way they would show that on the title screen of the game.
I'm gonna log in as my brother.
Oh yeah, well, but if you're starting a fresh save file,
I'm
then
not starting a save.
okay. Good.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't go to the menu.
Oh, what? That's what I was trying to warn you about. Because I didn't see the menu of the game until like after I'd recorded a bunch of episodes.
Yeah, because you left the game running on your Switch for like 3 months.
Yeah, I did. I really did.
You also have a second Switch.
I have a second Switch now. I didn't though.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
Switch. I own 2 Switches now. I'm very funny. I'm just right up. I have 2 Switches.
I
don't know how to feel about that.
I don't know. I need to make my Switch OLED my primary Switch because it's not right now. I have a smaller.
Why?
Well, okay, because I care about the items that I buy, and I didn't want to take my new OLED Switch, like, on vacation and risk it getting, like, scratched and stuff. I'm kind of over that now. Uh, but that was my thinking at the time.
I
Also,
would
I was in the middle of what happened to be a 7-month series with the save file on my old Switch. I did not want to mess anything up. I knew it probably wouldn't, but I didn't want to do that whole
you
transfer
also went
thing.
to like Iceland, right?
Yes.
And so I would understand bringing the old one.
Well, at that point, I only had the old one, and I don't think I even took it. So, oh yeah, I didn't take it because I wouldn't be able to stop myself from playing this game, and I knew I needed to record it. Anyway, I've probably looped through the title screen enough. We can go back to this scene. So, I am also really happy that I finally fulfilled my promise to myself of doing a Zelda Let's Play. I am also happy that I finally fulfilled my promise of like playing a Zelda game to completion without watching any videos um, about it or like trying to spoil myself too much. I'm pretty sure that I did that for Breath of the Wild. Well, before I beat the game, I might have like looked at a video. I don't know exactly, but playing a blind playthrough and recording it all is something I've wanted to do for a long time, like probably 10 years at this point. And yeah, I talked about that a lot at the beginning of this, but I'm happy that it ended up working out. I didn't see any major spoilers. The worst spoilers I saw were some titles of music tracks from the soundtrack.
I'm sorry I sent that to you.
Well, that I had also seen. I mean, I basically put it on. I put on the first track and then I let it go and I didn't look at any of the titles. But then when I went to pause it, sometimes it was like, oh, never mind. So, but that was it. Like this was legitimate, and of course I looked up a couple things here and there just to be like, what in the world do I do here? But besides that, I mean, and you spoiling like everything, like the whole plot of the entire game. Oh,
I did not.
no, you didn't. So thank you. But yeah, wow. I don't even know what to say. I
I'm trying to
probably
find names of like trying to find names of songs that are like kind of Toniak is caught by treachery. It's a little spoilery.
yeah. So the only one that I really, the one that I remember was something like
Ganondorf
final
appears.
final dive. I knew that there was a dive at the end, but I also wasn't surprised about that. So
Yeah.
I mean, it
Dude,
started.
that point where he reaches out and he actually grabs. Oh,
Yeah,
It's so good.
which is also like, how does he physically do that? Because you can't you fall at the
Yeah,
same rate,
shut up,
but
shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Well, no, because he can dive. He goes faster.
he's not supposed to. I mean, Zelda is gonna be pretty
air
streamlined at
resistance.
that point because she can't like
She
hold her
cannot
arms out
control.
to.
No.
Zelda wouldn't have been able to slow herself down, so Link would have had a
She
hard
also
time
wouldn't have
catching
been
up.
going as fast as she could have.
No,
So
you pretty
Link
much.
being as aerodynamic as he can be can get a little bit faster.
Yeah, but Zelda would also be like as aerodynamic. Well, actually, really, Zelda would be flying around and flapping and flailing
Yeah.
all over the place. She would be
She would have
ragdolling.
She would be ragdolling.
But I want to see that cutscene now. Oh man.
We both did the same thing at the same time on the stream.
Yeah, of course we did. So, so we've already talked about the game at length. What do you think what are your thoughts about being involved in? Because you were there for all 8 hours or 7 hours on the first day, and
Okay.
you participated through chat a bit, and then we also have another co-commentary episode coming up soon. And I'm so glad that it worked out that you could record with me today. I'm very happy about that. What do you have any thoughts on being involved with this Let's Play? It was kind of the first day especially. It was really fun to like. You had already played the night before, so you were ahead of me.
Yeah, I stayed up for like 4 hours. I stayed up till like 2:30, 3 a.m. No, yeah, I stayed up till like 3 a.m. because it became available at 11, and then I stayed up till 3 a.m.
So, uh, I don't know. It's been a lot of fun talking with you for the co-commentary episodes. I really appreciate you spending your time helping me out with that.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, like, it's been kind of fun to see you like I beat the game really quickly. I beat
yeah,
the game within like 5 days. Um, maybe less than that. And then like I kind of didn't continue to play it because I have been busy for the past 7 months. Anyways, um,
what? You've been busy?
no, I haven't been at college or anything. Um, but I mean, yeah, it's been fun to see you take your time through it, and as much as I don't watch the streams, I do and I don't. Or the VODs, like it's been fun to like I guess at least talk to you about where you're at and what you're seeing and whatever. And it's like, oh yeah,
And
I
occasionally spam you with quotes and clips of what I'm watching.
oh yeah, I see the quotes and the clips quite a bit. But I'm ready for the you never to stream for like the next 9 months while you work on the video.
Yeah. Uh, that is the weird thing about this, that I've been uploading the VODs while I've been also making a larger backlog for myself. It's like I
Right,
wasn't actually getting through the VODs by uploading them.
right.
So yeah, now I can basically spend my weekends dealing with the hundreds of gigabytes of footage that I have. Uh, in case you're wondering, the output for the stream, I've outputted like 3 gigabytes on stream today. Uh, that turns into like 12 gigabytes. Well, that's not right. 12 gigabytes of recording. It's like a 4-to-1. It's a 4-to-1 thing. Like for every gigabyte that goes on stream, there's four that are getting recorded.
Interesting. Are you just recording at a higher
I'm
difficulty?
recording. I'm recording at the good file at the good quality. I'm not even recording at like the best quality.
Oh,
My computer can just do what it wants.
huh.
uh, well, and so also, like you were mentioning being busy. Circling back to that, this series has gone through some major changes in both of our lives.
I would say so, yeah.
Uh, my last final was the day before this came out. Like the Friday of my finals week was when my last finals week was when this game
Yeah.
came out. Um, I
And
graduated the couple days later,
wait, hold on.
and this today is,
The day of my last final.
but this is your first finals week.
Of my first finals week, yes.
So this is just incredible timing and everything.
Is this really weird timing for sure?
So, yeah, since then I went on an international trip for a week. I have moved back with my parents. I have moved out from my parents. I've started my first job. I have tried to become competent at my first job, and be moving again. So
Yeah.
And you've had your first semester of college
Yeah.
since in the entire time that this series has been going on.
Hmm.
So
Now they know our ages, except they don't because we did college at weird times.
yeah, we were rebels.
Yes. Well, kind of. Really. I was. You weren't. You just
Well, I rebelled against something. I don't know what it was, but something.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah. Uh. Yeah. This will always hold a special place in my heart. Even if better games come along, this will always be special to me. Um.
Special.
This game is special in its own way, but it's true. Um. Even if I hadn't live streamed the entire thing, I think this game would still be very special to me. But especially, es- yeah, especially now, I finished a Let's Play. You have no idea. Probably, you know,
You finished one for Minecraft. Once.
yeah, that's true. Minecraft, I guess.
But that wasn't really of your own fruition. I kind of forced you into that.
Well, I had a great time. I would not do a Minecraft series by myself. That I think I can say that, and nobody will be offended, and it will be 100% truthful. I would not have done a Minecraft series by myself. We had a great time though.
Yeah.
But probably close to 13 years, probably since I was 10 years old. That's when I kind of really started getting into YouTube and being like, I want to do this one day, and here I am. I did it. I did a series, so mark it off the bucket list. I don't have to do one ever again. Well, okay, it was kind of a lot of work to just I learned a lot about streaming throughout all this whole thing too. You know, this was really my first. I mean, we had done a lot of videos together. This was some of my first solo videos since my first videos, which are absolutely terrible. So, just learning about how to talk to myself for 3 hours at a time, uh, it's not
easy.
that easy. It seems like it would be easy, but it's not that easy. I mean, go back and watch my first videos, and those are edited. But
Barely, but they are.
yeah,
Get,
like I said,
four
I've
cuts in them.
yeah, I kind of got I there are some times when I miss old YouTube.
Yeah.
But there's so much on YouTube nowadays. You have to be good to be good at YouTube. I mean, you didn't have to be good before. Now you do. But I don't know. Is there anything else?
Now you get to you learned all of this stuff about streaming and actually the content creation part itself. Now you get to learn how to edit.
Yeah. Yep, I do. I'm really looking forward to that. Yay. Yeah, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna handle the editing of this, especially considering that I'm uploading the unedited stuff. So like 4 cuts isn't gonna do it this time.
No, you can't make 80 different 2-hour long videos.
But I'm also glad that I'm uploading the VOD. You know, I think that also serves a purpose. Now that I'm going to have a finite amount of them, I can actually maybe
Right.
get through them.
When I am 80, retired, can't really do much, I'll go back on YouTube and watch through all the VODs.
Just put them on at my funeral.
Here you go.
Hey
You
guys,
just sit
what's
here
up?
and
Today
watch
we're gonna go take on the
300
fire temple.
hours of... Welcome to Quicksoap's funeral. And now you must watch 300 hours of Tears of the Kingdom gameplay. Uh,
Well, so at one point, I was seriously considering when I finished the game continuing to record everything that I play until like I 100% it. I can tell you, this is like, unless something comes along where, like, I don't think there's going to be DLC. If there's DLC, maybe I'll record that. I don't think that there are any like huge side quests that I missed, but maybe I would make a bonus episode about that. But I am 100% okay with ending a series. Some
just be like,
things can die, even if
never,
even
never
if
watch
you
the
love
stream
them.
again.
Even if you love them and they ended on good terms, some things can die.
Some things, yeah. Other things, no.
Yeah, I also don't think my hard drive would hold up to anything like that. So, anyway, anything else to discuss?
It really is 2Dudes podcast.
Yeah, it really is.
We both have like the,
We both.
studio quality headphones, the microphones. It's like,
Yeah, I need better acoustic padding in this room though. It does sound like a room.
yeah, your wall back there looks very much like it just echoes like crazy.
Yeah, there also are no doors up here, so that's also a problem. So anything that happens goes out into the bigger room outside the door, outside the doorway. Uh, but yeah. Um,
Normally I have a green screen that I yell into, but it's no longer there because reasons.
yeah.
And that honestly gets rid of most of the echo in my room if I just yell into the green screen.
Well, yeah, I guess that would help. That would
And then
help a
I
lot.
also have, curtains on the wall or that cover the windows. So,
I got
anyways,
I got curtains eventually because I got tired of the sun peeking into my face when I was streamed in the afternoon. I took pictures of some I took screenshots of some of those and sent those to you. Like,
they're quite
the
good.
sun seems to be peeking in a little bit. Is completely blown out.
You're white when the sun shines on you on the camera and it looks like you're staring at the sun.
No, I'm normally Caucasian. I was white. uh, anyway, I think the way I'm gonna end this off is by hitting continue on the title screen. So I guess while we're here, thank you everybody so much for watching. I totally appreciate all of your time, and I also really appreciate you, Adam, for helping me out with some of this, for helping train me when we were doing series together to be able to just talk to a camera, and yeah. Um, yeah, this game has been incredibly awesome. I'm so glad that I chose to do this with this game. I'm so glad that you chose to spend your time with me, Adam, now in the present, and viewers now in the future. So here's to the next one. Okay, so that part was all just to. Oh, I do have. Something did happen. I have his profile now.
Oh, cool.
Okay, I wanted to see like if it was gonna do like a huge, big, dramatic thing if you went back in, like it does with some games. So it did do something though. It did give us Demon King Ganondorf.
True.
So yeah, wow, that's cool. Actually, while I'm here, 49.67%. And how many of those are Koroks? But I can look things up now. This is exciting. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording now. Wow, this has been a thing.